Guys, my name is Becca and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another video for you guys, and the sun is literally like right in my face and I can't stop it, so I know there's like, there's some light and everything, and I'm sorry, but what can I do right now? So I'm here with a recent reads and currently reading video. I decided to do this like really just a couple of days ago. I wanted to do one pretty much every week of April because I do have a lot of books I'm planning on reading, and as you're probably going to see, my March wrap-up that I just filmed and finished is almost 50 minutes long. And I don't want that to happen for April because I am going to have a lot of things to talk about with the two readathons that I'm participating in, that I'm actually in the middle of both of them right now. We have the Owl's Magical Readathon and Fantasy-a-thon, and then, all the other books I just want to read that have nothing to do with those readathons. So I thought I would do a recent reads and currently reading once a week, talk about the books that I've finished, and that way I don't have to talk too much about them in my end of the month wrap up. So, yeah. So, just about like my weekly reading updates that I used to do last year, but I think I like this better, the recent reads and currently reading. So if I feel like I read a lot in 1 week, I think I'm going to do this, who knows, but I might do this constantly then, or consistently if I read a lot in 1 week. But for sure it's going to happen for April. Alright, so I've only read a few books this week. I'm in the middle of, was it 4 books? Yeah, oh man. So, I guess we should talk about those. The first 2 books that I finished this week. Oh, by the way, it's Tuesday the 9th, so I guess I'm gonna do this every Tuesday, I guess. I want to do this every Monday. No, okay, first it was gonna be Sundays, then it turned to Mondays. And I really liked Mondays because it's literally the beginning of the month started on Mondays, so I figured Mondays would be perfect. But I guess it's going to be Tuesdays because I didn't do it yesterday. So the first 2 books I finished were both part of a series, and they had nothing to do with the readathons, and they weren't on my original TBR. I just decided to pick one up because I wanted to. Oy. And those were The Deal and The Mistake. Books 1 and 2 in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, which are like new adult smutty romances, which I've heard nothing but amazing things about, and now I'm addicted. So I decided to just pick up The Deal because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I wanted to see for myself if I would really like it, and it's a sports hockey romance set in college. And The Deal follows Garrett, who is the captain of the hockey team, and Hannah, who's like a music major, and Garrett, and Hannah are both in the same ethics class, and Garrett's failed a midterm, and so he's pretty much failing the class, and his GPA is dropping, and if it continues to stay that way, he is going to be dropped from the team, which can't happen. So he meets Hannah, he finds Hannah, because he finds out that she passed the midterm, which most of the people didn't, so he kind of, like, begs her to tutor him, and to help him pass the midterm, and at first she wants nothing to do with him. I'm sorry, as you can tell, I'm really sick. She wants nothing to do with him, and so he ends up persuading her to help tutor him, and their romance goes from there. It was so cute and so sweet, and I really loved it. It definitely deals with harsh topics. There's definitely trigger warnings for rape, abuse, both physically and pretty much verbally. And it's just, it was still really fantastic. And I ended up giving it 5 out of 5 stars. And I became addicted because I ended up reading The Mistake, which follows Logan, Garrett's best friend, and also part of his hockey team. I'm sorry. And he ends up meeting Grace, who is a freshman and a virgin, and he ends up arriving in her dorm and, like, knocking on her door accidentally. Like, he was trying to find this other dorm and there's supposed to be this party. Definitely not at the dorm that he was at, because that's a freshman dorm. It's definitely not that dorm. But, yeah, he ends up staying at her, in her room, because he finds out that she's watching Die Hard, and she's like a really big action fan, and he ends up staying there and watching Die Hard with her. They end up having a little thing. Oh my god. I was doing so well too. And then my March wrap-up killed me. He ends up staying with her, and they end up having like a little thing. And there's a lot of drama, obviously, and this is a drama-filled, you know, series, but they end up like going their separate ways, and then, you know, he can't get her out of his head, so he ends up going back. He puts his foot in his mouth quite a few times. Logan, the biggest thing about Logan is that he is crushing on Hannah. He finds that he has feelings for Hannah, his best friend's girlfriend, and he's trying to find like a party and then any girl he can sleep with to get her out of his head. Once he meets Grace, he thinks that he's found that person, but he ends up finding out that he can't get her out of his head now, and yeah. It's really cute and it's really sweet, and I absolutely loved it, and I gave that one 5 out of 5 stars. So. And then the only other 2 books that I finished were Warrior Rising by PC Cast. This is a smutty Trojan War retelling. After reading Circe and Song of Achilles, I couldn't not read this. This is for my Owls, this was for the Owls Readathon. I'm not going to go into what it's for, but yes, I did read this. This was a reread. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Though, realistically, now that I've read it again, this is like my 5th time reading it. It's not a 5 out of 5 stars, but because of the nostalgia and how much I've loved it before, I'm sticking it with 5 out of 5 stars. But realistically, it's probably like a 4, 4.5. But still, it's amazing, and I love this. And it's literally a smutty romance between a modern woman from like 2007. This was written like 10 years ago. And Achilles. And Patroclus is in it too. Though Achilles and Patroclus are not together, they're like cousins in this. PC Cast has taken liberties, and she says that in this, but it's so good. I really loved it, and yeah, it was great. And then I read Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller. This is about like this Viking village, and we follow Rasmira, who is pretty much the heir to the leader. So one day she will take over and she will lead this village. But first she needs to pass her coming of age trial. And she needs to pass the warrior coming of age trial, which means she has to fight like all these beasts. They're called Zyken, and she needs to. It's kind of like this maze, and you need to go in there, and you need to get to the middle of the maze without suffering any bites from the Zyken, because their bites have venom, and it could leave you vulnerable, and if you get bitten, or if you can't get to the place where you're supposed to be, you will sorry, hold on. Okay. It was a text from a friend. If you don't pass your coming of age trial, pretty much, you'll be banished. And okay. Getting another text. Her and her friend, Torin, they partner up for this trial, and here's the thing. Okay, so Torin, literally 6 weeks ago, from the start of this book, Torin was a bully to her. Okay, he and his friends all bullied her. But 6 weeks ago, he goes to her and he's like, hey, I'm sorry for how we've been treating you. I don't want to treat you like that anymore. I've only been doing it because, my friend has been telling me to. I've been, pressured into doing it. And it was 4 years. But can we be friends? Can I help you with your trial? That kind of thing. Now, wouldn't you be suspicious? Wouldn't you think, yeah, no? No, we're good. I don't want you anywhere near me. No, because she really doesn't have any friends, she ends up taking him as a friend. Sort of like a best friend, and she ends up crushing on him, and then, like, she wants to be with him. It's like the stupidest thing. So when he betrays her at her coming of age trial, she's shocked. And I'm like, I'm not. That was stupid. I would have not let him anywhere near me. Are you freaking kidding me? So she's banished from her village, and in order to be allowed back in, she needs to pass this, like, impossible quest. It's called a Madigar. And she, what's it called? She ends up meeting these two boys out in the wild, Soren, and Eirik. I hate the fact that Soren and Torin are, like, sound so alike. I don't get them mixed up, but sometimes I don't hear, like, the T or the S, and I'm just like, wait, who are you talking about? So she ends up meeting these two boys, and at first, she really doesn't trust them. She wants nothing to do with them. She's learned her lesson, which was fine. Which was good. But sooner, you know, kind of halfway through the book, she ends up feeling like, okay, maybe I should trust them. And she finds out they were also banished from their village, and they all have to pass their Madigars to go back. And she tries to enlist their help in order to pass her Madigar, so she wants to help them pass theirs. Hers is to kill this god that's been oppressing her village. A god. Yeah. But you find all these secrets, and you see all these beasts. And it's just, I ended up really loving this book. At first, like, the first, you know, that part, she was betrayed, and the whole thing with Torin. Once I found out that 6 weeks ago he was bullying her, and then he just, like, all of a sudden is like, oh, hey, I want to stop bullying you and I want to be your friend. Like, that was stupid and suspicious, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna end up betraying you, and you're gonna be stupid for allowing that to happen. But after that, she really grows, and she really develops after that. She learns her lesson, and I think that was really well done. And I like that the romance in this is not insta-lovey like her and Torin was. She really doesn't want to trust anybody. At first, she doesn't want to trust them for anything, but once she starts to trust these boys and, like, helping her, like, survive out in the wild and then passing her Madigar, she really doesn't want any, like, a romance with anyone. She wants nothing to do with relationships. But she starts to develop feelings for one of them. I'm not going to go into it. But it's really cute. And I really loved it. And I gave this like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Though really, realistically, I might just give this a 5 out of 5. Actually, yeah. There's really nothing wrong with this that I can think of. I really love this book. And can there be a sequel for this? Even though it kind of ended, I want a sequel. This was so cute. It's so beautiful, and I loved it. And I love the development between all the characters and the character development that they go through, and it just so good. Also, like, the wild and the beasts and everything. It was great. I loved it. And I listened to it on audiobooks, so that probably helped my enjoyment level just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm in the middle of 4 books. The first one is Dark Bites by Sherilyn Kenyon. This also has to do with the Dark Hunter series. This is a bind-up of novellas in that series. Probably should have started with this before, like, starting the rereads, but I didn't. And now I'm trying to catch up. Though, now I'm at a point... Oh, by the way, they're not in order. So, even though I'm there, I've read from here, I've read from here, I've read from here. It's like, it's not in any order. The order I found out is the the reading order I found online. So, even though it says I'm there, that's not at all where I'm at. Like, technically, I've read I've only read like a few novellas out of this, but yeah, I'm trying to get through all of it. I do have to read 3 that has nothing to do with this. Oh, another one I read was also like sort of a novella. It was the first Werehunter novella. It was Dragonswan. I read that on my Kindle because it's not in here. I really enjoyed that. I gave that like 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then if you talk about like the novellas I read, here. So here's the list of all the novellas. I've read Phantom Lover, which is technically like the second novella. I just finished that, and I gave that like, also like a 3, yeah, I'll give it a 3 star. Dark Hunter Christmas, which I really loved. That's like the 4th novella. I mean, technically, if we're just going through here. I really love that one. I ended up giving that like, I give that like a 4 star. That one like really made me cry, and I loved it. Actually, that one I just finished. Phantom Lover was before that. So yeah, I just finished that one. And then I also read Where Angels Fear to Tread, which is technically the first thing you should read before starting the series. Okay, I have no idea who that character is. No idea what happened. I gave it like a 2 star because I'm so confused now. But it was fine, I guess. But yeah, I've only read like 3 novellas out of this. I read Dragonswan. Also, Where Angels Fear to Tread, I have no idea if it's Dark Hunter or, you know, like, it's not Werehunter, but I feel like it was like an angel or something, and I'm just like, who the frick are you? So I have no idea what that has to do with any of the rest. Dark Hunter Christmas was Dark Hunter, and then Phantom Lover was a Dream Hunter, so pretty much read from all over. So the next I have to read is like the Lords of Avalon, which has to do with like King Arthur and stuff. And I'm not sure at all how that ties into the Dark Hunter world, but apparently I need to read those. So now I have to find out how to get those right away so I can continue on and finish up this. Alright, I'm currently reading East by Edith Pato. I'm reading this on Scribd on my phone. And I'm 107 pages in. There's no chapter numbers. It just goes from perspectives. So we get the perspective of Rose, her father, the White Bear, and the Troll Queen. Oh, and her brother Nettie as well. This is just about, so this White Bear comes to this family, Rose's family. Rose and her family are really poor. They're living in poverty. They are about to lose their farm. They're about to lose everything. And Rose's sister Sarah is really sick. So the White Bear comes to them and he offers to heal Sarah and give them wealth. So they can be, they can live comfortably again in exchange for Rose, who is the youngest out of this entire family. And that's where I'm at right now. Rose has decided to go with him, and that's really where I'm at. But this White Bear you find out is a boy who was cursed, but it wasn't really his fault. You don't know really like what. It was all due to the Troll Queen, and it was her fault that he was cursed. It's crazy. But I'm really enjoying it. It's really told like fairy tale like, and I'm really liking that so far. So, I'm hoping to continue on with that. This has to do with my owls as well. War of the Wild, by the way, had nothing to do with anything. It was just something I really wanted to read. Then I'm also reading A Curse of the Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I am currently 98 pages in on chapter 12. It's a modern day Beauty and the Beast retelling I've talked about before. But yeah, I'm currently in the middle of this, or like I'm right here for this, and for East I'm right here. So I'm not really far into either one of these, but I've actually just started reading them the other day because I just finished War of the World and Warrior Rising, really. So yeah, it's like the 9th and I haven't really read a whole lot. But the last book that I'm currently reading is this behemoth right here, and it's Part of the Orange Tree. This is the one I'm the farthest in, and I'm like 300, where are you? I'm 332 pages in on chapter 31. I'm really getting into this. and I'm really enjoying this. So I can't wait to get farther into this. The first 100 pages were definitely really boring, and I didn't know if I wanted to keep reading. I'm really glad that I pulled through. I definitely thought about DNFing it for like 5 seconds or 5 minutes. But after you get through those 100 pages, it just, stuff picks up, and now where I'm at, things are getting crazy, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's definitely confusing at times because you're in the East and you're in the West. You follow all these different characters in these different parts of the world with different beliefs and religious ideals, and it's insane, it's crazy, and I'm really enjoying it though. So yeah, those are the things that I've read and everything I'm currently reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you again with another video. Bye. Happy reading.